Hello, friends. So this is like second chapter of MVC series, and in this session, we will see how we can create layout page in MVC application. Okay, so make sure you guys will go through the previous session which was done previously, and it was introduction to MVC, right? So you must go through these things. So let's start with layout page in MVC session. So in this session, we will see what is layout and content page. Okay. Then what is view start? View start is a HTML page. So we will see this. Then components of layout pages. So we have some method like render body, render section, then add the red section kind of tag. So we will see these things. Then finally, we will see difference between content page with and without layout page. Okay. So we will see these things in this session. So let's start with the point number one. What is layout and content page? So an application may contain a specific UI portion that remains the same throughout the application, such as header, left navigation bar, right bar, or footer sections. In ASP.NET MVC introduced a layout view which contains this common UI portion so that we don't have to write the same code in every page. The layout view is the same as the master page of the ASP.NET web form. So in the means in the ASP.NET we have a concept of master page. The same thing we have here introduced as a layout page. Okay. So here they have shown one diagram, and in this diagram they are showing like header which is common. Then left menu again these are common. Then right menus if these are there, these are also common, and the if footer is there, this is also common, right? And you if you see the content area that is between in this area, right, is right. So this is like changing dynamically as per the requirement. So we will see some example, real time example in this already. Okay, so if I go to Chrome and if I open something like Flipkart, let's open this. Okay, so in this section, you can see that, for example, here we have a electronic section, and I am selecting MI mobile, right? So I have selected these things like MI mobiles, but still, but you can see that still there are some things which are not changed. Even we like went on this mobile page, right? If I go to Realme, still means I am able to see Realme mobiles here, but still there are some. There is some portion of area on the page which is common. Okay, if you see that Flipkart, this search box and this login button, then more option, and then cart. So these menus are common, or this design is common for all the this like different pages, right? If again I will change something like if I will go to Oppo, so you will see here, so it is showing now Oppo detail, but you can see that menus are still there. These horizontal menus are there, right? So these are not changing, but the content area it is dynamically changing. So this part is the that Flipkart application is master page, right? And this part which is dynamically changing is called content page, right? Okay. There are some other sites also. If I will go to Gmail, if you see Gmail, you can see that we have this left menus: inbox, share, sent mail, right? Right now I'm in the inbox, and you now you are able to see this all inbox emails, right? Let's go to sent item. So you can see that now I am able to see sent item, but here the rest of portion like left menus are same which were here for like inbox. Also here at the top, this horizontal design is also same, right? at the very top on the page, you can see that these all menus are there, right? So these are not changing all the time, right? If I go to all mail, I can see all mail here, but the rest of the items are same. If I go to footer section, you can see that the footer is still same for all the options, right? Let's go to spam. Still you will see these things which are not changed, but only the portion of this part, this email grid part, it's frequently changing or continuously changing for each request, right? So this fixed part is called layout page or master page, okay? And this dynamic changing part is called our content page, okay? So this is the content concept of like what we can say layout page and content page in MVC, okay? And the same thing they have tried to like explain here using this design, okay? Again, they have another example they have shown here, okay? Okay, what? So let's take a new project in MVC and we will try these things, okay? So here you have to type uh, Visual Studio, and we have to open application as a run as administrator, okay? Let's take a new MVC application. From here we have to take new project. From here we have to select web, and from here we have to select web-based application .NET framework. So we will give some name to project like layout page in MVC, okay? Let's add a project. From here I'm taking MVC template, okay? So we are not like selecting WebAPI forever for this MVC understanding, okay? Let's add the project. Okay, project is added, and in Solution Explorer, you can see these all folders available, right? If you go to View section, you will find here by default provided viewstar.cshtml page, okay? And in shared folder, you will find your underscore dot layout dot cshtml page, okay? So this is the layout page which they have by default provided with the default application, right? Okay, let's run this application and see it. Okay, so this is the default application which is provided by MVC project, right? So here you can see that we have home menu, then we have about menu, right? Here the URL is changed to about, right? So content is changed, but the horizontal menus are still same, right? If I click on contact, so the things are again same, right? Means the content is changed, but the like menus are same. So this is the part which is designed inside the master page, and this is the part which is designed inside the content page. So we will see how they have done these things. So to understand these things, we will take one layout page, okay? So let's come here in the shared folder. So we have to, what we have to do is we have to right click on the folder, that shared folder, and we have to add view, okay? And whenever you will add view, so you have to give the name to that view, start with underscore, okay? So this is the naming convention when we define the layout page. So I will call it my layout page, okay? And we have to uncheck these things because this is the layout page, and here we have to select empty without model option, right, in the template section. And this create partial view, this checkbox also should be unchecked, right? So let's add it. Okay, so it has added this my layout page.cs HTML page, right? So it is the normal page like view. It is normal page which when we created the view, right? So if I go to default layout page, we can see that it is also having that full HTML, right? And it is having some things which are added, and this might have like confused you people. That's why I have created my own layout page, right? Now in this layout page, what we will do, we will have to add some things, and we will see these things here. Okay, if you go to documents, they have added like one layout page, right? So this is the coding of layout page, and this is the default coding which is provided by .NET, right? Now second point is what is view start. So before like going into view start, we will see that is another point, that is like components of layout pages. So we have some components which we have to define in the our layout page. The first component is like at the render body, and then we have like second component is like render section, and there is one like tag that is called at the section. So we have to understand how we can use these things. So the first component is like render body. So renders the it is used to render the portion of child view that is not within named section. Okay, layout view must include the render body method. Okay, so let's use this method. So what we have to do here is, so we have to render this body inside the our layout page, where we have to render our content page. So now in this section we will render our content page, and if I have here one more div, right? So this div is a part of our layout page, and in like upcoming settings, this area will be the part of our component page. So we will this thing this we will see these things in action. Okay, so let me add something here. So this is my layout page area. Okay, so now we have added here one method, that is render body. So let's add one view. To add the view, we must have a controller, and in that controller we must have one action method. So let's add one controller, MBC controller. Then I am taking here master, right? The controller name is master, and inside that master we have by default index method. But let's take our own one action method. So we will call it customer master, right? So we have added one action method here, that is customer master. So let's add a view. I am adding view. The view name is customer master, and here we have an option to use layout page. From here we have to select our layout page. So let's select our layout page, which is inside that shared folder, right? So now you can see that we have this two layout page, and right now we are selecting the layout page which we created like before some time. So let's add this. So I have selected my layout page as a layout page for this my customer view. So let's add it. Okay, now you can see that when I selected this page with layout page, so it is having only this much of code. Means we have one section, and inside that we are having some code. Okay, and here they have mentioned your layout name, right? Now our layout page location is this is the location of our layout page. Okay, and here we have tagged that that this is h1 tag, right? Now whatever I will design here, let's take some controls here, sorry, some tags here from the HTML designing. So let's take h3 tag here, and we will call it like this is customer masters content page area, right? Okay. Now the difference between in the layout page and content page is what? So layout page is having whole HTML, right? And content page is having no HTML. Not actually no HTML. It is it is having HTML, but it is not a full HTML, right? Full HTML means what? You can see that here we have started this tags with the HTML. Then inside that we have a head. Then inside that we have a body, and we have a end body and end HTML tag. So it is mean that this page is having full HTML, right? And this page is having partial HTML, right? So we can take any HTML tag and we can start writing in the open space anywhere in the page. Okay. Now let's run this customer master form. To run these things, what we have to do is we have to go to our app start, and inside root config we have to give the controller name, that is master, and action name is customer master, right? Rebuild the application, and let's run this. Now you can see that we have got some designing here. This is my layout page area, right? So where did we write this code? We wrote this code inside the layout page, right? And here is that here is the code, right? This is my layout page area. And next to that what did we do? We added that render body section, right? If you come here you can see that customer master text. So where it is it has been written. So it has been written in this page, customer master.cshtml, right? So it is mean that it is available in the content page, right? So it is replaced at this location in the my layout page. This is also written in the uh, customer master.cshtml page, right? So this is also rendered at this place. If you go to page browser, you can see that this is coming from content page, and this is coming from layout page, right? If I will open this code in the page view page source on the browser, you can see that it will show us the full HTML body, right? So we will see here how this body is created. You can see that we are having HTML start tag, then heads tag, then we have body, then we have this div tag also. If you go to code, let me go to code. If you go to code, you will find these all things here in the layout page, right? Now let's come to browser. If you see here, the div is started, which was defined in the layout page. 1 minute, which was defined in the layout page. This is my start div, right? If you again come here, you can see that there is some data which is coming from content page. So this is the data which is coming from content page. This is actually not defined here, but it is replaced at this place because of this method, render body method, right? If you again come here, you can see that this is the end tag of div, which is defined in the slash div here, right? Then body and HTML, which is again available here. If you see, so what is like replaced with render body, then we have to go to like customer master.cshtml page. So these are the things which are replaced at these are the things which are replaced from content page, that is customer master.cshtml, and into the our render body section, right? So this is the concept of master and content page. So we have some more methods available here. So other method is like render section method, and it is having some parameter string name. So renders a content of named section and specifies whether the section is required or not. Okay, so it is having two parameter. First is name, and other one is having whether it is required or not required, right? So let's come to the Visual Studio and see these things in action. So other section is render section. So let's define one render section method here. Okay, so let's copy paste these things. Make sure you always use @ while you will define any method or any like C# code inside the uh, HTML pages or CSS HTML pages. So this is the Razor engine which we are using here. Okay, and here we have parameter name. So it is a string. That's why we are giving it into the double quote. So I will say head section. Okay, again it has other parameter. If you see its overloaded method, these are two methods. First is having only single parameter, right? And other one is having boolean parameter, that is second parameter. So it is having two parameter, name and boolean. So it is we can define this method with this single parameter only. Okay, so let's define this and see what is the use of these things. Okay, once you define this render section body, it will like help us to like update the partial data into that area. So let's come here and let's define this here. Okay, the syntax of like defining that section into the content page is @ section and that your section name. Okay, so this is the syntax of defining your render section into the content page. So let's define some HTML here. I have defined this before. HTML tags in where in content page, still it's showing in head section in final page, right? So I have defined these things here before this HTML, right? And but finally we have to check where this like HTML code will be replaced in the master page. So as per this concept, it should be replaced into that head section area, right? So let's run this and see it. Okay, we can see that it is showing like I have defined this before HTML tags content page. So it is obviously printed before this HTML tags, right? Still it is showing in the head section in the final page, right? So let's go to view page source on the browser. If you can see that it is actually replaced inside the head section of area, right? So why it is happened? Because of we defined that section in the layout page in the head section, right? That render section. Okay. So even if you will like put this code after this HTML design in the content page, still it will replace in the head only, right? If I again go to browser and if I will refresh this, nothing will change here. Okay. If I come here also, still everything will be same, right? Control F5. Let's open it into the new page. So you can see that anyway this like it is replaced in the head section only. And in content page we defined this area after the this HTML design, right? Okay, so it is all depend where we have used this tag into the our layout page. Now what is the purpose of defining these sections? So here I have written some HTML code, but the main purpose of these things is like, if we have to define some what we can say, if we have to define some JavaScript references or CSS references, so what we can do is we can define like head section kind of any tag, section tag, and we can define these things here, right? So I am referring these things here like this. Let's add any bootstrap file also. For example, if you want, let's take bootstrap file. So what will happen, for example, if I have to define some page specific reference file, so we can do these things. We can define this section into the head section in the layout page, and we can refer these things. Okay, if I will run it, you can see that the rest of designing is same. Only the thing is whatever we just referred here, added the references of these things which are available in the head section of the our total HTML page, right? Now if I have to add more sections, right? So we can have a like a number of sections we can define in the layout pages. For example, I have to define one more section. So let's define this in the body. We will say, so we have added say, this break lines in the layout page, and then we have defined one div. Inside that div, we are defining one more section, and we will call it render section, footer section, right? If we have to add some data as like page specific data to the footer, then we can do this, right? If you will define it, and if you will write this code anywhere in the project, for example, this is footer part, but I am defining at the top. So still what will happen, it will replace after the end of the your HTML, right? So let's say, okay, so in content page you can see that our designing is like, we have this render body area, then we have this head section area, and then we have this footer area, right? So let's run them and see how does it looks like. It must be looks like the way we have defined in the layout page, right? So let's, if you can see here, it is replaced at the end of the page, right? Sorry, here it is, right? Footer part, okay, footer part, and must be added at the last of the page. So it will be always added at the last of the page. Even we have defined it here at the top in the content page, right? So why it is happened, because of the, it is a sequence of in the layout page. So in the layout page we have this section in the head, that's why this part of the code replaced in the section, even it was defined at the last in the content page, right? Then next section was render body. So this was defined in between of these things. So it was replaced exactly the that location where the render body section was designed in the page, right? In the layout page. Here we have designed these things at the last in the layout page, right? But sorry, in the content page. But if you go to layout page, you can see that we have defined these things in the head section. That's why it was replaced in the head section, right? If you go to view page source, you can see that in the head section that part is replaced. Okay, and in the body section these things are replaced, right? And at the last this footer section is replaced. It is because of we have defined this at the last in the page, right? So this is how we can use this render section, then render body, and we can like define these things. Okay, so one more property I want to just like elaborate here, that is we will take these things here, something, right? We will add one more div and we will call it, so I'm adding here one section inside the body. We will call it must define. Hmm? Okay, and we will call it true. Okay, so by default it is having other property, that is boolean property, right? And it is used to like define the method if it must be used in the rendered pages or not, right? For example, if I will true this property, it is mean that you must use this property in your uh, content page. Okay, if I will not use it, it will throws an error. Let's rebuild it. So rebuild or succeeded, right? But it will throws an error at runtime. So let's run this and see it if it throws an error or not. Okay, it is section not defined, must defined, right? So it must be defined in the your render page, right? So once you will define it there in your this page, so it will automatically uh, removes that error, right? Your this section name, and okay. Now one more concept was given there, that is view start. So let's see what is view start. So if you come here, you can see that inside the shared folder here we have a that view start .cshtml page. So this is the page where we can define our layout page, which is like a common for our whole project, right? So from here, whenever the application will execute, from here it will like pick up the common layout page which is defined for this project, right? So this is the common path for our content pages, which and this is the layout path. Okay, now uh, one more thing I would like to like explain here. So we have seen that customer master view with layout page. So we will add one page without layout. So I will call without layout, and we will see the difference between layout with layout page and without layout page. So let's add view and uncheck this thing. So it is mean that we are adding this view without layout page, right? You can see here it is created with the complete HTML, right? Now, if you will run it, it will run independently. There will be no involvement of our other layout pages. Okay, so let's run it. This is independent full HTML content CS HTML page having no layout, right? Involvement. Okay, no layout involvement. So let's run the application. Okay, so this is the independent full HTML content page having no layout involvement, right? If you go to view page source, you can see that it is having its separate HTML page, right? So there is no like data came from layout page, from any layout page, right? Okay. Now, in case of layout pages, if we have used in any page, so it will like override the common data which came from the different pages, right? So in the default layout page, they have added some action links here. So these are some action links, and if I will like we cannot do these things actually, but if we run this, we have seen it like it is having some common design in the page, right? And this is like common for this all application, right? If you run it, we can see that. Let's run this home and index. So they have defined some like action methods, like action links here. So you can define these things. So it is like showing different this action and its view, but it is having same horizontal design which is coming from master page. Okay. So this all is the master page and content page in MVC. Okay.